What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. I'm LotusAsakura, the one who never knows best. And in today's video, I'm here to talk to you guys more about Tekken 8 Season 3. We already did a video giving some of my thoughts and opinions and feelings on, I wouldn't call it a disaster, but this whole mess of a season that doesn't even really feel like much of a new season at all. And while I do think the game has improved significantly since the initial release of Season 2, things are still not where they need to be, where they should be, where players like myself want them to be. And many of you guys as well, I'm sure, agree with that. One thing that we didn't actually even mention in that video, where I spoke at length about all my different thoughts and opinions and feelings, are like the game-breaking bugs that exist. Well, it looks like we got an emergency patch, and I guess there's supposed to be an apology in here as well. My chat was telling me about it, asked me if I'd seen it. I hadn't yet. I asked them if they thought it was worth making a video over, like covering and reacting to. They said that it would be. So here we are today. So let's go ahead and dive in. We have it pulled up here. A new article straight from the Tekken team. Tekken 8 upcoming battle balance adjustments for Season 3. Thank you very much for playing Tekken 8. Since the release of version 3.00.00, we have received a large volume of feedback through the Tekken Dev Feedback Portal, which is the new Discord server that they have, which I haven't actually entered myself, but I've seen my fair share of screenshots and clips from it, and it looks like a cesspool in there, I'm not going to lie. In the first week alone, you know what I will say real quick though, while there is a decent amount of tomfoolery and people in there who clearly have no idea what they're talking about, they're very unskilled and ignorant players, a lot of like the ridiculous posts that get put in there get downvoted a lot and laughed at. So I will say that if there's any silver lining with that, there is that the people who like truly go in there and there's some scrubby blue rank player who don't know what they're talking about, they kind of just get laughed out of there. In the first week alone, we received over 700 submissions, and we are reviewing each report on a daily basis while proceeding with the necessary responses and adjustments. In version 3, we're just going to say version 3 anytime this pops up. In version 3, we implemented adjustments aimed at maintaining each character's individuality while reducing excessive rewards. I don't think that you succeeded at all in this whole aimed at maintaining each character's individuality, because I think the common concern and complaint that we have is that you are constantly removing the identity of a lot of these characters and making a more and more homogenous game where every character is doing the exact same thing. So this is very ironic. While reducing excessive rewards, didn't really do that either, particularly those stemming from the heat system and character-specific enhanced states, in order to improve overall balance. However, we recognize that the battle balance experience we intended to deliver has not fully met your expectations, and I think that's putting it lightly. You say that you tried to reduce excessive rewards stemming from the heat system, which all you really did was make it so that if you have like a powered up enhanced state during heat and use your heat dash, you lose that state. Okay, cool, I guess that's better. And then you took away the wall splat property from heat smashes that have it, except not really, because if those heat smashes whiff the first hit and the second or third hit connects, those characters still get the wall splat. And you also gave these characters compensation buffs for characters that did get any sort of nerfs as well. So it's like you didn't really tone them down that much. So yeah, to say that it hasn't met our expectations would be putting it lightly. Moving forward, we will continue to pursue a battle experience where offense and defense are balanced around the heat system, allowing players to engage in meaningful mind games and decision-making against their opponents. Right. While maintaining the direction of version 3 adjustments, we will continue addressing elements that still result in excessive rewards or one-sided gameplay. You know, I've heard this all before. I've read this all before, and like, adjustments have been made, things have gotten better, but it's like so minute every single time. And then you keep doing this thing where like you take a step forward and then take a step or two backward, and then you keep coming out with these new seasons and making these promises and just straight lying to our faces and just disrespecting us. So as like, what am I really meant to believe at this point? These issues will be improved step by step through individual behavior fixes and performance adjustments. Okay, so do we have like an actual like roadmap or an explanation as to what exactly these plans or ideas are? So number 1, upcoming schedule and actions. Version 3.00.01 scheduled for around 7 p.m. PDT on March 25th. That was last night, I guess. We plan to release an emergency patch focused on fixing critical bugs and unintended behaviors. Patch notes will be published at the same time as the update release. If we got that already, which, hold on, that was, wait, is today the 26th? Let me check my phone. Yes, the 26th now. So this must have dropped yesterday, or last night or whatever. So I actually haven't seen that yet. So maybe we can take a look at that in this video. Then scheduled for mid-April, we have 3.00.02 and then version 3.01 scheduled for late spring 2026. We are currently reviewing priorities while considering fixes for bugs, adjustments to behaviors that result in excessive rewards, and performance tuning centered on the heat system. Fixes that can be addressed in the short term will be implemented sequentially, while changes with significant impact will be introduced step by step through each update after sufficient verification. Further details and exact release timing will be announced once finalized. Then about the feedback portal, currently the Tekken dev feedback portal is being operated with the highest priority placed on the early identification of bugs and unintended behaviors. The priority of responses is determined with reference to the level of community reaction or engagement within the official Discord server. 0.01 will be focused primarily on reports with strong community response and limited scope of impact, whereas 0.02 and beyond, other issues and behaviors will be individually reviewed and addressed in sequence. Adjustments to the battle system and character performance are being made based on comprehensive evaluation, including submissions to the portal. In response to the large number of requests regarding the game, we have introduced a new category that allows users to submit requests related to battle and system. We are also planning to introduce channels within official Discord server where players can discuss submitted requests with each other. We'll provide further updates once preparations are complete. We are aware that there are requests for individual feedback from the development team regarding submitted reports. However, at this time, we are prioritizing improvements to the gameplay experience and are focusing our efforts on fixes and adjustments. We'll continue to review how to address this moving forward. Detailed information for each update will be provided in the patch notes on the day of release. In addition, future update announcements will be shared via the official X account as appropriate. Thank you for your continued support of Tekken 8. Okay, so I don't know why everyone was calling this an apology. There's no apology or anything even close to it anywhere in here. In fact, I think it's a load of bullshit, to be completely honest, where they're basically saying, hey guys, so you guys don't really like our vision. We're going to continue on with that vision anyway. Hopefully in the future with these changes that we make, you guys will like, but if not, who cares? Like, you know what I mean? That's really just kind of where I'm at with it at this point. There's, like I said, there's no actual apology in here. If anything, it's them sticking to their guns and kind of doubling down even more. And to be completely honest, man, it just feels like Dragon Ball FighterZ all over again, where it's just like, and I spoke about this before, like back in season 1, I want to say, or maybe it was at the start of season 2, but I'm pretty sure I made a tweet where I said this is just DBFZ all over again. I'm like, I've been down this road before, and I tried to be delusional during that time. And I've been thinking about this a lot the last few days. I did jump on Tekken. I was like, yeah, I'll still play. And then I just had like a day where it just mentally wasn't in it, was playing very poorly, was getting overly frustrated and just feeling very irritable. I don't know about y'all, by the way. Tekken 8 is a very stressful, very rage-inducing game. Literally and figuratively, right? And it is one of those games, and it's like the only game where I feel like I dead need to treat this like I'm about to go play in game 7 of the NBA finals. Like, I need to make sure that I'm well rested, properly hydrated, that I've had a proper meal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to have all this prepped done beforehand to ensure that I have a smooth Tekken playing experience. Otherwise, I just feel like, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I was delusional during DBFZ and its downward spiral, and I tried to convince myself that, you know, it wasn't that bad, or that things could get better, or that maybe the next patch will improve. I still enjoy the game, blah, blah, blah. And like I'm just getting deja vu. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tekken 8 is a game that I do still have some fun with at times, but it does get under my skin. It is very stressful. It is very rage-inducing. It does make me very irritable. I don't like who I become sometimes when I play the game. And it does feel like they just have constantly disrespected us, lied to us, slapped us in the face, and just largely ignored our concerns and our feedback. And it's not that like good changes haven't been made, but there have been equally, if not more so, bad changes as well. And like I said, for every step they take forward, it feels like it's another step backward. And at this point, I just don't feel convinced or hopeful that the game will actually eventually reach a place that we're all happy with. It's just they don't seem to genuinely have our best interest at heart. They don't seem as if they want to go back on their vision in any capacity, and they continue to double down and go in this direction. They're very light when it comes to the nerfs, and very heavy-handed when it comes to the buffs. And yeah, I'm not happy. Let me see if I can find the patch notes for this emergency patch that they allegedly did. All right, so I guess this is version 3.00.01. Let's go ahead and see here. Character move behavior fixes. We'll implement fixes at an early stage for issues that were unintentionally changed in the previous update. Items where the response has been insufficient, and bugs that are causing significant disadvantage to players. Looking ahead, we plan to release update data, including bounce. Yeah, sure. And then we've got some actual changes. Okay, so let's see. The behavior that occurs when certain moves hit an opponent in face down, knockdown state had unintentionally changed in previous updates, so has been corrected. Fang had a bug where he was able to do his heat smash multiple times. It looks like they fixed that. Heihachi's up back 1+2. Fixed an issue where performing certain inputs would trigger up back 1+2 hold even without entering the correct command. Where you could get like the charge version without actually charging it. Jack 8 up 4-3. Increase recovery time when why does Jack, by the way, have a new game-breaking bug every time now? Like what's going on here, man? But it looks like they fixed the gamma howl, which, by the way, typo on the gamma howl, but it looks like they fixed that as well. With King's Heat Smash, fixed an issue where when transitioning into Jaguar Sprint on Blanc, it was not possible to perform reverse special bomb. Leo's back 3+4, fixed an issue where Heat Burst and Heat Smash cannot be performed using the Heat Burst / Heat Smash button. I didn't even know that she had that. Lydia fixed an issue where when landing a move after KO while in Heaven and Earth level 3, the visual effects were not displayed correctly. She had some weird explosion particle effects going on with her that it looks like they fixed. And Steve, his flicker back 1+3. Fix an issue where certain moves would fail to execute depending on the timing of the command input. So that's cool, I guess. And then is that it? Yeah, so bug fixes. Fixed an issue where the magic mirror setting configured. Okay, yeah, so literally just some bug fixes, and these were needed, but this isn't like anything too crazy. They were quiet for several days after the patch, and didn't really acknowledge this, but better late than never, I guess. Yeah, it's this isn't changing anyone's perception or opinion of season 3 or making them any more hopeful for the future of the game or this season or anything like that. So yeah, I don't know, man. I want to love Tekken. I want to support Tekken. I don't feel loved or supported in return by Tekken. So it is beginning to feel very much like a toxic relationship with a crazy girlfriend who is always spazzing on you despite the fact that you've done nothing but love and support them. So I don't know. I've been debating because initially, like, my plan was to continue playing the game. I'm low-key debating about like taking a break from it and not playing until like the release of Kunimitsu or something like that. Because I know when she drops, like, I'm gonna be excited and want to try her out. Whatever. I'm even gonna pretend like that's not the case. But I don't know, man. I've seen a lot of people obviously express their concerns and their gripes with the game, as I'm sure you guys have as well. And I didn't want to be like a doomer ass nigga, but because so many other people are. But I don't know, being optimistic right now also feels like not being a shill, but also just kind of being delusional. Like I said, that's probably the key word. And like I said, there's other things that I wanted to talk about in that previous video that we made discussing Tekken 8 Season 3 that I didn't even get around to, like all of these game-breaking bugs. And also like the new rank system. Like the rank system, I thought was honestly where it was at the end of season 2 was a huge improvement from where it was in season 1, in my opinion. I liked a lot of the changes that they'd made up to that point. The only real tweak I wanted to see to it was that I felt like, for the sake of like the God 1 players and higher, because Ouroboros seemed like literally impossible to achieve. Like, you want it to be difficult, but it seemed like it wouldn't really be possible. There was only a single player in the world who managed to get to GOD 6, and that was Yagami, and he did it right before the end. There were a couple of like 4s and 5s. But it seemed like Ouroboros or Infinity, like that was going to be like legitimately impossible, especially with the way matchmaking was and everything like that. I wanted to see a slight improvement to matchmaking, and also I thought it'd be cool if like the GOD 1 players and higher, they just lost just a little bit less points than they currently did, or I guess they previously did, for losing in rank. Just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because you still want it to be a climb, you still want it to be difficult, you still want it to be a challenge, you still want players to be incentivized to like play and have something to grind for. But as they seem to always do with Tekken 8, they overcorrected it by a landslide, by a very wide margin, and now ranking up is laughably easy for a lot of players. K-Wiz, for example, you guys know, a friend of mine, EU player, one of the best Hwadong players in the world, one of the best EU players. He tapped out at GOD 4, like that's where he maxed out at in season 2. And that took him all of season 2 to get to. I think he might have D-ranked like right before the season ended. So technically he ended as GOD 3, but we'll give him the 4, right? It took him all of season 2 to get to GOD 4, basically. He had like a couple weeks to spare or something like that. He's already back to GOD 4 after what, it's been a week. Like, again, overcorrected it by a lot. I'm seeing people call ranking up and it being like a participation trophy at this point. Also, they made other changes as well, with just like the amount of points that you gain or lose. They made it even more difficult to rank down. They increased the minimum rank of your characters from every time you rank up. I think when you reach God 2, all of your side characters are now God, which I think is a bit extreme for those players. It also like takes some of the fun out of the game, right? Because like the whole, like there were several players like Tetsu or whoever else, you know, like a lot of top players do this kind of thing. But it's like, you know, I'm gonna get every character to God of Destruction. Well, if your main is God 2, which is like pretty much every top player is able to do that, if not higher. Like I said, most of them are like 3, 4, 5. Every player just automatically just gets that character to God. So it's like, okay, we'll just move it up, getting every character to God 5 or maybe even God Infinity with how easy it is now. You know what I'm saying? Just I don't know. I liked it when they added the new ranks. I like some of the changes that they made to the system, the +-1, the same rank. That was all. You know what I'm saying? They made some changes that I wanted to see, and then they just took it too far. And yeah, man, it's really feels like a joke, truth be told. Like I said, I want to be optimistic, but I don't want to delude myself into thinking that the game is in a better spot than it really is. And I don't know. It's a shame because I was really enjoying my time with Tekken recently, and I was like, you know, despite how frustrating it can be at times, and you know how irritable I can be at times when I'm playing the game. You know, the future, I have some hope for it, and things are trending in the right direction. So hopefully it keeps going that way. And Kunimitsu's on the horizon, and Yadizu is really cool. I love this character. But I don't know. It feels like I should kind of stop playing the game before I just keep hurting myself. I don't know. Like if I seem flip floppy or wishy washy, it's because I am. Like I really am at a crossroads. Like I really don't know what to do anymore. But instead of rambling any further, we're just gonna end this video off here. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hit this video with a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already, so you can stay tuned for all those content up and I bring you. With all that being said, that's pretty much all I have today. And remember, let the cap and swing the bat. Later.